Hey everyone, welcome back to another CSS tutorial. This is Mr. Rivera, and today I'm going to be talking to you about float and margin properties. I know this is probably going to be a little bit difficult to understand, so I'm going to try my best to explain it to you. And I already did a couple of modifications to my website to go ahead and show you how that works. All right, so I've already kind of adjusted this image that I had, and you've probably seen in previous tutorials, it's a little bit bigger. And I also added some text, and all I did was grab parts of the Declaration of Independence for some placeholder text, so you could see how this is going to work. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is float and the float property, and how does that work? So what it's actually going to allow this image to do is float either to the left or to the right of this text, and this text is going to flow around it. All right, so if I put float left, this is actually, if you noticed right here, it's going to go ahead and move the image to the left and flow all the text around it on the right. Now, if we look at how that's set up here, it's going to be all the text that comes after it. It's not going to affect this text up here. It's the text that comes after it. And it'll keep going until it pretty much reaches the bottom part of the image, and then it'll return to normal. Okay, so we could go ahead and float right as well, and it'll move it to the right. Now, visually speaking, I know some students are going to ask, well, how do I kind of create a little barrier around this to kind of push the text off? All right, and there is a thing that we're going to learn. It's called margin, and that's going to go ahead and give that little invisible barrier around it to go ahead and allow that space to make it look a little nicer. So again, using pixels, I'm going to put 10 pixels. And it's going to create 10 pixels of space around it. So it's starting to look a little bit nicer, and you could keep modifying that a little bit more if you want. And like I said, it'll go ahead and create that little boundary for you. Now, you could also use margin in other areas. You could use something such as the A selector for your A tags, for your links. And I'm going to go ahead and put margin. I'm going to put 2 pixels. And you can see it's starting to separate your tags, your A tags. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 5 pixels, and it separates them a little bit further. Okay, so you could use this in different scenarios. And also, here's a little bonus. If you wanted to, you could actually define every single part. So you have top, bottom, left, and right. So here they are: margin, bottom, left, right, and top. So let's say I only want to modify the right side. I could do margin right. And the cool thing is, look at this. It still kind of hugs the left side of your website, but it pushes everything on the right 5 pixels. So it doesn't look as awkward as it did before. So you could keep messing around with this to kind of create a little bit of separation, so it's a little bit easier to read. Okay. So I know this was quick and short, and I hope you guys understood it. I know this one tends to be a little confusing for some students, but if you have any questions, again, feel free to ask me in class, and I'll go ahead and see you guys at the next tutorial.